Okay, so, here's another thought I had. Uh, I was, uh, I was reading through, actually, there was a Batman comic called Batman Masks, which is actually written and drawn by a manga artist and writer. It's some manga I've never even heard of. But apparently it was this little four-part story written and drawn in manga style, basically Batman in Japan. Batman, Bruce Wayne doing something in Japan. It's something to do with demons and shit. And it was pretty good. So then I had this weird little epiphany. Why not have American writers write and draw comic books about anime and manga characters? Why not? I mean, for the longest time, we've had, artists and writers from Japan do that stuff. I mean, we have an X-Men anime, a Wolverine anime, an Iron Man anime. We're gonna have a Blade anime. Have a Wolverine. Yeah, I said Wolverine anime. And then we have all these other different styles. Like we have a lot of Wolverine and Batman comic books written and drawn by manga art styles and writers for mangas and artists and all that. Then we also have Batman Gotham Knights. So, why can't we do the same for them? I mean, look right here in this Ghost of the Shell picture. Now, it's actually in comic book form, but this was transitioned into a comic book form for America by Dark Horse, originally for Ghost in the Shell. It was written and drawn, however, by the writer and artist of Ghost in the Shell. So yeah, that's always been on my mind. That's always a question I've asked myself: is like, why can't our American guys take on Japanese characters? I mean, we're more than happy to let the Japanese, and no disrespect to Japan, I even feel bad for what happened to them, the tsunami and the radiation outbreak. Really sorry about that to anyone of my friends subscribers who are in Japan. I don't know if I have any, but if there is, I'm sorry that happened to you. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be okay. I think Japan would let us, but the thing is that they're all creator owned. I think that's the only shit kicker right there, is that they're all, creator owned, and the artists are the same. Mostly, for the most part, manga is it's the writer and also the artist for the most part, for a lot of them. Now, me personally, I would like to see I'd like to actually see American comic books about Japanese characters, or at least a mini-series about them. I mean, I've actually thought, this is going to sound really crazy, but I think Jeff Johns would do really cool for a cool Dragon Ball Z story. I think he could really pull off. I mean, he's actually a really cool writer on Superman, and we all know his Green Lantern run, and his JSA and Teen Titans stuff. So I think he'd do really cool on Dragon Ball Z. And maybe I could get back, if he does that. Maybe I can get back into the show. Hopefully, yeah. There are a lot, actually. Another one would be cool. Would be like Neil Gaiman on Hellsing. I think he'd be really cool writing the Hellsing characters. And it's not even just American writers on Japanese characters. How about American artists on Japanese characters? I'd really like to see artists like Alex Ross draw like this one big portrait of all the Sailor Moon characters. I don't know why Sailor Moon, but I think he'd draw them pretty good. Another one would be if he were still alive. May Michael Turner rest in peace. I'd really like to see him draw a lot of some. I think because he has like an anime style. Michael Turner's artwork's kind of anime style, so I really think he'd be. Were he still alive, and may he rest in peace. But if Michael Turner was still alive, I'd really like to see him draw some anime characters. For some reason, I want to say Bleach. I want to see how he'd draw Bleach characters. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of Bleach. But yeah, I'm hopefully not the only one who thought about this. I mean, I think Japanese characters could, if they got an American touch, I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, not a lot of people, at least to my knowledge, have a problem with American comic book characters being converted into anime and manga from Japan, but I wonder if someone's going to have a problem, especially American anime fans, having a problem with American writers and artists on anime books. I would love to see that. I would love to see, American comic book people on Japanese characters. And a lot of, Japan's anime and manga has a lot of comic book influence. I mean, let's take a look at Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, Goku. He's a total dead ringer, 95% dead ringer for Superman. Everyone knows that. A lot like Code Geass, and a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of anime out there that's heavily based around Batman. And there's a lot of anime that's, there's a lot of anime out there that's based off, that has some ties to Marvel or DC characters. So yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with all that. I know some diehard anime fan would go, "No, they're ruining the writers." Dude, go check out a freaking comic book. You'll probably change your mind after seeing this, but yeah. I would really like to see all these characters. Like I said, Neil Gaiman, Neil Gaiman on Hellsing. I think he'd be really cool on that. I think he could really get down. I think he could get the character of Alucard. Same thing goes. I'd really like to see him on, and I'd really like to actually. It's kind of weird, but I'd like to see him write Soul Eater. I think he'd be pretty good at Soul Eater. And like a lot of other comic book writers have said that they want to take a crack at Japanese characters. I don't think there's any hurt feelings between anime and Japanese manga and comic book writers and artists. There's no hurt feelings. I mean, Stan Lee went to Japan and he loved a lot of the characters he saw. Stan Lee has a lot of respect for Japanese characters. I wouldn't have a problem with that. My train of thought just went off its rails. Sorry. But yeah. And another thought I just had is, actually, it's kind of weird, but I think Gail Simone would be really cool on Sailor Moon. I think she could really... I'd really like to see her on Sailor Moon. I don't know why, because she does really good with female... I think she does really good with female characters like Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman. But yeah, I would definitely love to see this kind of stuff. And I know they're all creator-owned, but in all honesty, I think it'd be more like a cool thing, a cool exchange, like I've been saying throughout this video. If we could have American comic book characters transition into anime and manga, like, the old X-Men Destiny thing, and Wolverine Prodigal Son, and the Spawn manga series, why can't we have American writers and artists take a crack at, Japanese characters? I think it would be a really cool, cool little exchange, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Japanese manga writers, Japanese anime creators would actually like to be like, okay, that would be kind of awesome. Let's see what you can do. Yeah, I would really like to see that. But I know someone out there is probably going to be like, no, that should never happen. That is an abomination. Dude, give it a rest. I mean, this would also be coming from the same guy, and I'm not pointing fingers here. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. But I know if I tried to give this idea out in a anime message board, I would be kicked out of that message board. That's what I'm saying. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone on this channel. Or any of my friends and subscribers. I'm just saying that if I tried pitching this idea to to some message board, I don't know, Funimation, I'm just throwing shit out there. I know I'd be it would be a witch hunt for me. But yeah, I've always wanted to see, I think it would be another cool art, I know I keep flim-flamming back and forth, but yeah, I always have these cool little ideas, Michael Turner. I've always wanted to see him do Japanese artwork, Japanese characters on artwork where he's still alive. I'd really like to see, actually, Sean Davis. Sean Davis I think he would do an excellent Hellsing artist. I think he'd be a really cool Hellsing artist. But yeah, I really have a lot of ideas in my head, but I just hope that someday, we can get and this might have happened sometime in the past. I should have looked into it more, I'm sorry, but maybe it already happened in the past once. But Dark Horse does manga. I mean, they publish manga. I mean, they don't create it, but they publish it here in America, like Hellsing and a couple others. But yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. I think it would even give leeway for a comic book manga crossover, I don't know, Batman Hellsing and all them. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that, yeah, definitely. I think it would definitely give some leeway to, you know, a lot of comic book manga crossovers. That is undiscovered. That is an undiscovered country right there for crossovers. Sorry about that. I just had to get some water. But yeah, I really wouldn't have a problem with this. But I wonder what you guys out there would. What do you guys think? Basically, do you guys think this would be a cool idea? What ideas did you have? I mean, I'm not talking crossovers. I'm talking like American writers and comic book artists on manga characters. On manga or anime characters. What artists and writers would you like to see doing their books? You know, like I said before, Video Respond or Comment Below, all that good shit. You know, I think this would be a very cool topic, and I hopefully am not the only one who thought about this. So, you know, leave a message below.